someone or any other manner of different things, they could call together a committee meeting and they could punish you for these problems. They could anywhere from banish you from town to torture you to, as the very first one happened, strap you to a pole and empty an entire 6-shooter into your bag.
Oh.
Yeah, it was no joke. That was frontier justice. So you really weren't safe no matter where you went. Now, on some of the other trails, you had other things to consider. Like, for instance, the All-American route. You had things like snow blindness to worry about. Additionally, by the way, if I give you one piece of advice during this talk that I wish you to take home, it's do not bring your best friends on a gold rush. You will not have them at the end of it. Not because they've died, but because you're at each other's throats. Yes, many a friendship was broken by a journey on the All-American Trail. That's the one across the glacier, by the way. Now, the Canadian Trail wasn't much better. We're talking people were so angry and upset about this trail, they ended up scratching into trees just how bad it was. In fact, one person wrote a poem, and we're going to hear it now. This is called The Poor Man's Trail. This is the grave the poor man fills after he died from fever and chills, caught while tramping the Stikine Hills, leaving his wife to pay the bills. Yeah. So, definitely not a friendly journey. Now, generally, most people were using these other routes. So we have the one that was going from Dai across the Chilkoot, so the one that looks just like this. That's the lovely Chilkoot Pass. But that one had its own share of problems. It was both very, very steep and very, very dangerous. In fact, it ends up having a very deadly avalanche happen on Palm Sunday. And it ends up taking out about 100, it buries 142 people and killing 43. That ultimately ends up being the death knell for the Chilkoot. Now that still leaves the White Pass. Now to this day, that's the one with the railroad on it. But back in the day, that was not the case. In fact, you had another